Okay, so a couple of days ago, I went and saw a Minecraft movie opening night. And since I am someone who's played about probably somewhere around 5,000 hours in Minecraft, and I actually started my YouTube channel doing Minecraft YouTube videos, I thought, hey, I might as well talk about the Minecraft movie. You know, and like you might have seen in the thumbnail, I think this is a pretty cynical movie. And the reason I say that is because overall, I felt like the movie was far more interested in pointing and saying, hey, look at that, and making references rather than actually doing anything creative or good with the source material. I think I didn't really care for the movie. I did find some bits to be funny in the movie. I don't really like Jack Black's style of humor. Jason Momoa was funny at times. The writing was not good. The plot setup was not good. The whole movie just kind of like, it didn't have anything, like as far as like except for like the references, there's nothing really there in the Minecraft movie to have you come back again, especially if it's not super funny to you. And to me, the movie got a few laughs, but it wasn't really that funny. It had some funny moments, but I mean, it's directed by the guy who did Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre, and I'll be honest, I don't really like those movies. Nacho Libre was not funny to me, and I don't really like Napoleon Dynamite. So, like, I guess by that standard alone, this movie was not gonna be my kind of thing. So I guess if you're the type of person who enjoys those movies, you're probably gonna have a laugh at this one. You know, this is a movie that kids and teenagers are really having a great time with. Okay. I watch a ton of different movies. I have a higher standard of movie like quality, and like to me, like it's gonna stand out when it's something is kind of crappy. Like I'm gonna know it's gonna be something I'm just like, yeah, this is not very good. So that's kind of my spoiler-free reviews. But of course, I want to talk some spoilers about the movie. Kind of the whole kind of the reason I wanted to make this video was because I wanted to talk spoilers. So to really talk about like some of the things that so I mentioned that it's more interested in like pointing and making references rather than actually doing anything interesting. And some of these references are pretty great. You know, like there's a reference for Technoblade. There's a little pig that walks by with a crown, and you know, Steve says like, oh, that's a legend. It's like that was a nice reference. During the storage unit auction, there was a bunch of Minecraft YouTubers. When I watched the movie, I didn't really recognize any of them. I saw them pointed out later, and I was like, oh, I did not realize that. Especially, like, I watched Mumbo Jumbo a lot, and I was actually kind of surprised because I did not recognize Mumbo at all. I did notice some, like a cameo from Jeb as a waiter. He made a brief cameo in there as well. And yeah, so like there's a bunch of these little Easter eggs that they're like, okay, that's fun, that's cool. But then there are other times where they had something like they go through Garbage Man Henry and Steve go through, and they end up in a creeper farm. And in classic Minecraft fashion, they ran out of redstone rails, and they have to kind of get out, push the minecart a little bit to get back on the redstone. But in this thing, they have like a creeper farm. This is what Steve calls his creeper farm, and I'm thinking to myself, that's not a creeper farm. It's just a cave with a bunch of creepers. And I'm like, again, and that's kind of what I mean by like that's just like they're more interested in like saying creeper farm and having a bunch of creepers and saying creeper farm rather than actually making a actual creeper farm. But also there are other things, and this is something that people have pointed out in the trailer, where Steve has got 2 elytras, and he slaps them on the back of the garbage man, and he slaps them on the back of Henry, and but also he's only been to the Nether once, got captured, didn't bring anything back. He didn't get what he needed. He never went to the end. So he went to the Nether once. He's got 1 Ender Pearl, and he's got 2 elytras. Well, elytras are very end game items. Like, this is not like, again, it's a thing where it's like pointing out, here's a reference, not really following through on the actual mechanics of the game. And there's other times where it's like it feels like they're like are kind of inconsistent with the mechanics of the game, because they talk about like, oh yeah, it goes from day to night over like 20 minutes, but then most of the thing is in daytime, and the days are actually longer because a lot of stuff happens during the day. So like they do switch that up. Like they add in, they mention the mechanic, they use it maybe once or twice, but then they just kind of forget about it. Or how a lot of or you don't really see this much in the movie of where they're fighting, and because you end up having bodies strewn all over the floor of the piglins, but they also show that when you kill a piglin, it turns into a pork chop. So it's like, like what are we doing here, right? It's how are we being consistent? Now, a few things I did appreciate. They do take some stuff from Minecraft Dungeons, Minecraft Legends, and the Minecraft base game. Not everything is like completely like, oh, here we just plucked this thing and this thing and this thing. They take like the blue tesseract looking cube is the Orb of Dominance, so that's something from Minecraft Dungeons. You've got the Boots of Swiftness, something from Minecraft Dungeons. You also have a couple of things that are not actual Minecraft items, but from what I've heard, that was supposed to represent like a modding kind of thing. Because like Henry's got like a tater tot gun. It looks like something that was modded. And that was kind of what they was supposed to invoke is like a modder's creativity. And that's like, okay, that's cool. I like that, right? So you've got some things that are like supposed to be modded. It's like, okay, we're not going to be like super critical about that. Also can talk about the design of the world. They made the blocks smaller, which honestly kind of makes sense, because if you look at this actual size of a 1 meter by 1 meter block, that thing is huge, and like it doesn't really quite work. So okay, they shrunk them down. Okay, fine. That's fair. That's fair. But then also, not everything is blocks, or sometimes they're little tiny blocks, and sometimes they're bigger blocks, and the terrain and everything like that, and not everything is, so things aren't all set up kind of like they would be in Minecraft. So it's like, okay, so it's more of a Minecraft aesthetic than actually Minecraft mechanics. There's just things like that. Some things I did kind of really like though was like, for instance, Henry stares into an Enderman's eyes, and then they give you they have some like psychedelic effects, and like the Enderman is communicating with you telepathically, and that I think that's a cool way to kind of show the way if you look at an Enderman and he starts like getting like freaking out, in that way. I think that's a really cool way of kind of like fleshing that out, right? Or like how villages actually have villagers going around have like an actual society. I liked that. Like those were good things that they had in the movie. But most of it is just like a very surface level understanding of Minecraft, and then just kind of like, just kind of doing either that, or they were like, you know what, we're gonna change this anyways. There was one part where Jason Momoa's character, the Garbage Man, where he dies and then he comes back. And one thing I thought about later was that they show a Totem of Undying, like when they're going and gearing up, they show a Totem of Undying in a chest. And I'm like, there could have, like, because of that, right? There could have been this really great thing, like this little thing that they could have done using game mechanics to do the exact thing that they did, You could just tweak what they did a little bit and have something that's actually a really cool nod, right? Because the thing is gold, right? Have Jason Momoa take it. Don't show him taking it, right? Or maybe you just be like, or maybe you do show like him looking at it and like looking around and him taking it, stuffing it in his jacket. Why? Because it's gold, right? So he's gonna want to take it to sell it so he can have money, because that is kind of his main character. Like that's why he wants to get diamonds. That's why, so he can get money, right? So you have him take that, right? And then when he goes and then when the explosion happens that kills him, you can have the audio that plays for whenever a Totem of Undying activates, and you can like add a little bit of green sparkle in the explosion that you see, and then later when Jason Momoa, he explains why he got out of that or how he got out of it, he can like explain it was that like this the Totem of Undying. Granted, he doesn't know it's called the Totem of Undying, but still, he could be like, oh, this thing saved me from death, using a game mechanic as part of the story. They had it there. They could have used it, but instead he somehow, without us being able to see, he was the whole thing exploded, and he was able to use the water bucket trick to get off the bridge, even though he would have been dead before he got there. So, it's that kind of thing. The writing's just not very good, and I'm like, there are things that they could have done, but in general, I don't think a live-action Minecraft movie was a good idea. And the reason I say it's a cynical movie is because it really felt like they were like, hey, we need a Minecraft movie. Minecraft is hugely popular. Proven by this weekend's box office, like over like $160 million domestically. Like that's more than the Mario Brothers movie made in the opening weekend. This movie is gonna make $1 billion. This is gonna be a hit. And it's kind of sad because this is a movie that it's like the higher ups are like, hey, we need a Minecraft movie. Okay, who do we cast as Steve? How about this guy? How about Jack Black? Does Steve have a character? No, it's Jack Black. You have a heightened stereotypicalized version of like a bro dude who peaked in high school kind of thing. And that's for Jason Momoa. And then like all the characters are just very bland and like stereotypical, like stereotypical. Some of the characters don't even need to exist in this movie. They just take character archetypes or stereotypes, and then those are just the characters. And also, I haven't even mentioned the fact that the first like 10-15 minutes or something like that of the movie is just straight up an entire story of Steve just told to you. And then everything up to when they get into the Minecraft world makes literally no sense. And then like getting like how all the characters come together is really, really, really stretching it. Like, 'cause that is just totally nonsensical. How any of that happens. So like that's just kind of like going off that. But like in the Minecraft movie itself, I would have liked something that actually values the game, the game mechanics. Because like Minecraft is a game where its style in its game mechanics is what makes it Minecraft. That's what makes it what it is the art style and the game mechanics. And because there's no story to Minecraft. There are elements in their game mechanics, and there's the style. And they messed with the style and they didn't honor the game mechanics. And all they did was be like, hey, it's this item. Hey, it's an ender pearl. Hey, it's a diamond helmet. Hey, it's a diamond sword. It's pointing out iconic Minecraft stuff. Hey, it's a creeper. And then yeah, I think an animated movie would have been a lot better. And I think that I wish they would have kept to the Minecraft. I wish they would have kept it to the Minecraft mechanics a lot more and kind of held a little bit more to that, to stay a little bit more faithful. I think it would have been a better movie if they did, but those are my thoughts. Hey, it's popular. I guess. So, you know, can't be the worst movie in the world. Definitely better than Snow White. I went and saw that. I thought about making a video for that, but I figured everybody's already talked about it to death. So, yeah. So, alrighty. Well, appreciate you guys watching the video, especially this far into it. And I'll talk to you later. Ciao.